A hero to millions can become a headline overnight. For years, whispers have followed Heavy D from the Diesel brothers, and now he has confirmed the rumors are true. The story is much worse than anyone thought. He was arrested and taken to jail, his massive empire suddenly on the verge of collapse. How did the man who built monster trucks and a TV dynasty end up behind bars? The day it all came crashing down. The end came not with a bang, but with a piece of paper. On October 2, 2025, a federal judge in Utah named Robert Shelby signed a court order. It was an order for the arrest of David William Sparks, the man the world knows as Heavy D. The court had decided it had run out of options, stating that it had exhausted all other ways to make him follow its orders. For 5 days, that order waited. Then, on the morning of Tuesday, October 7th, it was time. Heavy D was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. This wasn't a small local issue. This was a federal matter. He was booked into the Salt Lake County Jail, his name and photo suddenly part of the public record for a reason no fan ever expected. News outlets from TMZ to local Utah stations flashed the headline, "The star of Diesel Brothers was in jail." The charge was not for a new crime. It was for a contempt of court. He had repeatedly ignored the orders of a federal judge. His lawyer, Cole Cannon, quickly told the media that Mr. Sparks was not arrested for a crime, but that the arrest was about a civil matter. But that didn't change the fact that Heavy D, the man who seemed to be on top of the world, was sitting in a jail cell. The question everyone was asking was, how did it get this far? To understand why Heavy D was in handcuffs, we have to go back in time, nearly a decade, to the start of a fight that would not die. A lawsuit that wouldn't die. The story begins in 2016. A group in Utah started a legal battle against the Diesel brothers. This group was not the EPA or another big government agency. They were called Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment, or UPHE for short. They were a private group of about 400 doctors and other health professionals who were worried about the air quality in their state. Their lawsuit said that Heavy D and his crew were breaking a very important federal law called the Clean Air Act. They accused the Diesel brothers of doing something many of their fans loved to watch. They were modifying diesel trucks to roll coal. This means they were taking out or disabling the emissions control systems on the trucks. Without these systems, the trucks could blow huge plumes of thick black smoke from their exhaust pipes. On their TV show and YouTube channel, these smoky displays were a signature part of their brand. But the doctors of UPHE saw something different. They said that black smoke was a toxic pollutant that was dangerous to breathe. They claimed the Diesel brothers' actions had a callous disregard for the harm they were doing to the whole community. Dr. Brian Moench, the president of UPHE, said that illegally stripped down and modified diesel trucks have no place on the roadways. To prove their point, they had one of the Diesel brothers' trucks tested. The results were shocking. The truck was putting out 36 times more nitrogen oxides and 21 times more particulate matter, which is like soot, into the air than a normal truck with its proper equipment. The doctors group took this very seriously. They didn't just ask for a small fine. In their first lawsuit, they asked the court to make the Diesel brothers pay an unbelievable amount of money. They wanted $114 million. For Heavy D and his team, this was more than a lawsuit. It was an attack on the very thing that made them famous. Their entire business was built on making trucks bigger, louder, and more powerful, and now a group of doctors was trying to shut them down. The battle lines were drawn. But how did a show about building trucks lead to such a massive legal storm? The Diesel Brothers Show. Before the lawsuits and the headlines, there was the show. Diesel Brothers first aired on the Discovery Channel in 2016 and quickly became a massive hit. The show followed Heavy D, his best friend David Diesel Dave Kiley, and their crew, including Keaton the Muscle Hoskins and Joshua Redbeard Stewart. They weren't actually brothers, but their close friendship made them feel like a family. The idea was simple but exciting. They would find old, beat-up diesel trucks, sometimes ones headed for the junkyard, and transform them into incredible, custom-built machines. Then, in a move that made them famous, they would give these amazing trucks away to lucky fans. This giveaway model, combined with their wild stunts and pranks, made for great television. The show was filmed at their shop in Woods Cross, Utah, and it showcased some of the most insane truck builds ever seen. One of their most famous creations was the Mega Ram Runner. They took a rolled-over, salvaged 2012 Dodge Ram 3500 and turned it into a 6-door monster with military axles that weighed over 14,000 pounds. Another legendary build was Hercules, a 2008 Chevrolet Duramax that they lifted to stand 11 feet tall using massive Axletech 4000 axles. They even built a truck that could do a somersault using a special egg-shaped frame and hydraulic rams to flip it over. Their fame exploded. They were not just local mechanics anymore. They were international TV stars with millions of followers on social media. They even wrote a book called The Diesel Brothers, a truckin' awesome guide to trucks and life. But with all that fame came a lot more attention, and not all of it was good. The very thing that made their show a hit, the big, smoky, modified trucks, was about to put them in the crosshairs of a legal battle that would threaten everything they had built. For 4 long years, the legal fight went on. Finally, in March of 2020, Judge Robert J. Shelby made his decision. He sided with the doctors. The judge found that Heavy D and his co-defendants, including Joshua Stewart and Keaton Hoskins, had broken the Clean Air Act hundreds of times. The judge ordered them to pay a huge penalty. The final amount, after some changes and one of the defendants settling his part, came to $843,602.23 in fines and fees. It was a massive number, a crushing blow for any business. The court had spoken and the Diesel brothers had lost. They were legally required to pay this money. But then something strange happened. Nothing. A year went by and the money was not paid. Then another year and another. Court documents from October 2025 reveal a stunning fact. For over 3 years, from the time the order was made in 2021 until the middle of 2024, Heavy D and the other defendants had failed to pay any amount of the money they owed. Not a single dollar. The court saw this as an act of defiance. By June of 2024, the judge had seen enough. He officially found all of them in contempt of court for not following his order. Still, the money didn't come. The court kept trying to get them to pay, but Heavy D was not backing down. He was standing his ground against a federal court judgment, and that decision would lead him down a path that ended in a jail cell. But before the arrest, there was one more public drama that showed just how serious this fight had become. In the summer of 2025, fans of Heavy D saw something that started a storm of rumors. He posted a video to his YouTube channel with a shocking announcement. He was having a massive garage sale. He said he was selling everything, even things he swore he would never get rid of. The sale was huge, and people wondered why. Was he in financial trouble? Was he closing the shop? The whispers grew louder online. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the sale was stopped. It wasn't Heavy D who stopped it. It was the judge. A federal judge stepped in and ordered the massive sale to be shut down. Why would a judge care about a garage sale? Because it was against his direct orders. The truth was, back in January of 2025, the court had given Heavy D a very clear rule. He was not allowed to transfer or move any of his property, real or personal, unless the court said it was okay. The judge saw the giant public sale as a clear attempt by Heavy D to get rid of his assets. The court believed he was trying to turn his trucks, tools, and equipment into cash to hide it from the people he owed money to. By announcing the sale to his millions of YouTube followers, Heavy D had created the very evidence that was used against him. The doctor's lawyers took the YouTube video and showed it to the court. It was proof that he was openly ignoring the judge's order. On August 1, 2025, the court found him in contempt for a second time and issued a warrant for his arrest. He was playing a dangerous game with the federal court system, and he was losing. To understand why a man with so much to lose would risk it all, you have to look at where he came from and the battles that shaped him long before any lawsuit. The making of a fighter. David Sparks was born in Utah into a military family. From a young age, he was fascinated by anything with an engine. His very first build was a 1976 Yamaha YZ80 motorcycle. In high school, his favorite subjects were auto mechanics, welding, and fabrication. He loved to build and fix things, but his childhood was not easy. His family faced many challenges. His father was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Doctors told him he only had a few weeks to live, but he was a fighter. He survived for 20 more years, showing his son what it meant to never give up. Dave watched his dad get knocked down by health problems again and again, but he always got right back up. He later said that watching his father's strength became his own approach to life. There were times when the family struggled a lot. After his father was medically discharged from the military because of the tumor, the family became homeless. For 6 weeks, they lived in a van. His parents did whatever they could to make money. They installed car stereos and delivered pizzas. When his dad got too sick from treatment, his mom would deliver his pizzas for him. They didn't have fancy educations, but they had a spirit that would not be broken. This taught Dave a powerful lesson about working hard and pushing through pain. After high school, Dave tried college at Weber State University, but he only stayed for 1 semester. He decided he could learn more from real-world experience than in a classroom. He started operating heavy equipment for his uncle's construction business, and soon he started his own small excavation company, building rock walls and waterfalls. In 2008, he hired his first employee. It was his best friend, a man named David Kiley. The world would soon know him as Diesel Dave. The two Daves had met at a church event for young single adults. Heavy D invited Diesel Dave to go to the lake with some friends in his pickup truck. They quickly bonded over their shared love for diesel trucks. One famous story tells of a time when Heavy D accidentally put gasoline into his new diesel truck. Diesel Dave came to the rescue and helped him siphon the gas out of the tank. It was right there at the gas station that they decided to start a business together, and Diesel Sellers was born. They started small, opening a used car lot after Dave married his wife Ashley in 2010. They posted videos of their crazy truck builds on YouTube. Their work got them noticed, and they even made an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. After that, the Discovery Channel called. Soon, the show Diesel Brothers premiered, and Heavy D and Diesel Dave became huge stars. From living in a van to having a hit TV show, Dave Sparks had built an empire from nothing. He was a fighter who had overcome every obstacle in his path. So when a lawsuit threatened to take it all away, he did the only thing he knew how to do. He fought back. But the Clean Air lawsuit wasn't the only legal battle he was facing. More lawsuits, more problems. As the Diesel Brothers' fame grew, so did their legal troubles. While the fight with the Utah doctors was making headlines, another powerful company was coming after them for a completely different reason. The famous Italian fashion brand, Diesel, sued the Diesel Brothers clothing company, Diesel Power Gear, for trademark infringement. The fashion company argued that the Diesel brothers were using the word diesel in a way that was confusingly similar to their own brand. They pointed to logos and marketing that looked too much like their own, including a design with the word diesel in white letters inside a red rectangle, which was very similar to one of the fashion brand's famous logos. The court agreed. It found that the Diesel brothers had ignored warnings to stop selling the merchandise and that their actions were willful. The judgment was another huge blow. The court ordered them to pay $11.8 million in damages. On top of the lawsuits, Heavy D's actions sometimes caused feuds with his own fans. In one video, he bought a collection of 70 classic Datsun cars for $7,500, only to destroy them on camera by throwing rocks through the windows and jumping on them. Many car lovers were heartbroken and angry, calling it a disrespectful waste. The backlash was so strong that he eventually deleted the video. In another instance, fans accused the show of faking a story about one of their trucks being stolen and then recovered, which made some viewers question if anything on the show was real. These controversies, combined with the massive legal debts, painted a picture of an empire under siege from all sides. Million-dollar lifestyle. While Heavy D was fighting these multi-million-dollar legal battles, his public image was one of incredible success and wealth. His net worth is estimated to be at least $1 million, but many believe it is much higher. He runs multiple successful companies, including Diesel Sellers and Sparks Motors, and has a massive social media presence with over 4.5 million subscribers on his main YouTube channel alone. He lives a life that many of his fans dream of. He is married and has 3 children, a daughter, and 2 sons. But it was his expensive toys that drew the most attention, especially one in particular. Heavy D owns a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter. For many people following the lawsuit, this became a major point of anger. How could a man who owned a military-grade helicopter claim he couldn't afford to pay an $850,000 fine? Online, people were furious. One person wrote that they had zero sympathy for him getting jailed, saying he should have thought about paying the fees instead of buying the helicopter. Another commented that you don't own a Black Hawk and are down to your last $850,000. This image of extreme wealth made it hard for some to see him as a victim. It looked like a rich and famous celebrity who thought the rules didn't apply to him. This growing anger online was the backdrop for his eventual arrest. Vindicated or defeated. After a few days in the Salt Lake County Jail, Heavy D was released. He immediately went on social media to tell his side of the story. In videos posted to his accounts, he did not sound defeated. He sounded angry and energized. He told his millions of followers that he felt fully vindicated. He said this was never about him refusing to pay money that he rightfully owed. He claimed he was standing up to a broken system. He called the lawyers for the doctors group bad actors who had learned how to twist environmental laws into personal profit machines. He said they were using these laws to chase blank checks for their own fees. He told his fans that if he did not fight back, these lawyers would just keep doing it to other people and companies in Utah. He said that by arresting him, these people officially crossed a line that they cannot uncross, and that he was done holding back. His message was powerful, and it connected with many of his fans. They saw him as a hero, standing up against government overreach and unfair rules. One supporter online called the whole situation a green new scam. Others pointed out that even the military does not use the same emissions equipment and called the laws hypocritical. But there was another side to the story. Heavy D was not released because the judge decided he was innocent. Court records show that his release was based on an agreement. During a break in the hearing, his lawyers met with the other side and reached a deal. The deal was that Sparks would provide the financial information and documents that the court had been demanding all along. He was let out of jail only after he agreed to comply with the court's orders. This created a deep divide among people watching the case. Many other people online did not see him as a hero. They saw a man who broke the law, got caught, and then thought his fame and money made him above the rules. People pointed out that he had enough money to buy a Black Hawk helicopter, but claimed he could not pay the fine. They said he was playing games with the court for years to avoid paying his debt. One person wrote online that if they refused to pay a tenth of what he owes, they would be locked up so fast. But he was able to dodge it for years because the rich play by a different set of rules. The rumors were now out in the open, and everyone had an opinion. The pressure was mounting, and it would lead to the end of an era. The end of the show. Amidst the legal battles and public drama, fans started to notice something else. New episodes of Diesel Brothers were no longer airing on Discovery. Rumors started to fly that the show had been canceled. For a while, the crew denied it, but eventually they confirmed the news. The show was over, but they insisted it was their choice. In a statement, they said they had decided to stop the show themselves. They wanted to go back to their roots on YouTube, where they had more control over what they filmed and when they filmed it. In an emotional video, Heavy D talked about choosing family over fame and purpose over pressure. He said it was time to build what matters most, not for the cameras, but for life. The timing seemed to be more than a coincidence. The constant stress from the lawsuits, the pressure of being in the public eye, and the controversies all seemed to have taken their toll. The empire that was built on television was now retreating from it. The Diesel Brothers era on the Discovery Channel was officially over, leaving Heavy D to face his biggest battles yet on his own. The arrest of Heavy D was the moment the whispers and rumors finally became a hard, undeniable fact. He was taken into custody not for building trucks, but for defying a federal judge. For years. Now he is out of jail and fighting to control the story, calling himself a victor against a broken system. But the nearly $1 million debt still hangs over his head, and the legal battle that has lasted for almost a decade is far from over. His biggest project yet might be trying to rebuild his own empire,